back again on the 3811 podcast.
What's up?
I got my best friend, my good friend, Chad here. Chad Sir Hill.
What's up? What's up, guys?
What's up, people? And you know what? Today was one of them days, man, where we kind of called each other and we was like, yo, man, bro, do you know what happened? Yeah. And I was like, do you know what happened? Yeah. And then we kind of was like, that's crazy that it's just that one of them days where it happened to both of us. And I know everybody that's listening have these days or will have these days where, you know, it'll get you to a certain point. But you know what? The motto me and Chad kind of live by, like personally between me and him, is just like stay positive, man. And make sure you doing the right thing to keep your mind in the right order and the right fashion, because you know I'm capable of you know.
Hey, look, it's that line you don't want to cross, man. I'm saying, like, you know, a lot of people be testing your patience, and you know, hey, that line get crossed sometimes. It's like back now. Look, I can be one way, but
yeah, definitely, man, definitely. That's for another situation.
That's a different topic.
Yeah. But yo, today is your day. We crossing. We going there with these topics and these things that people want to hear, and you know we can create some dialogue to where we can throw in how we feel about certain situations, or what, you know, with the demographic of how the situation went down or whatever, and we just take perspectives on it. But you go ahead and lead the way, my brother, and let's get on these things, man.
Let's get to it. So, guys, for those watching or listening, you know, as my brother just said, you know, we're going to talk about these topics, and you're going to, you know, be able to kind of see our perspective and how we feel about it, you know, our opinion. And, you know, if you don't get a chance to, you know, please do look up these videos that, you know, we're going to be probably talking about tonight. But tonight we're going to be talking about Mr. Cam Newton. All right, Cam Newton. It made some headlines, made some noise. A lot of people interested on kind of, you know, what did happen to Cam Newton, right? And so in the video, if you get a chance to play it, Cam Newton, he was walking along the sideline, and I believe he was on a 7-on-7 type of football camp that he was help sponsoring. So you got a bunch of young guys, you know, full of energy, full of just, you know, excited about the opportunity. Man, you know, here's a NFL legend in the making, basically. I mean, might as well we can say he's a legend now with his stats, right? But in the video, you see, you know, Cam Newton walking along the sideline, and then all of a sudden this kid yells out, "You some trash." Keep it PG. But, you know, Cam looked at him and was like, "What?" And he said, "You some trash," you know, and just, you know, keep it edited. But, he stopped and looked at him and was like, "I'm rich." I'm rich, right? That was his response. And so, like, you look at it, bro, like, you know, that was the human being in him. You know, and it's crazy because, like, when you look at this type of situation, man, many people, you know, either agreed or disagreed with his approach on how he handled that situation. Like, come on, bro, he's a kid, he's a high schooler, right? He's trying to get to where you are, but yet at the same time, this man is disrespected. How else are you going to respond? And so in the video, he just continues to kind of go back and forth with him to say, "I'm rich. What's up? You know, what's going on? You still some trash. You about to get traded." Or no, he said, "You a free agent." That's what he said. Yeah. You're a free agent. And of course, his response was like, "I'm rich." And then he said, "You won't be." And then he basically starts to kind of, you can see in his face, is like, all right, wait a minute, this is a kid. So I'm going to use, you know, your game on yourself. He's like, basically, where's your dad? And when he said that, I was like, ooh,
yeah,
that cut a little deep. And, you know, one can look at that as a situation where, you know, he probably has a father figure in his life. Yeah. And he trying to cut him there, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get there. Or, and I think he even says this in the video, but he was like, you know, I don't even want to talk to you. I want to talk to your dad. You know, you can kind of see him saying that. And so, and then there's, of course, you know, that part, second, you know, part of the video, it talks about how basically he's trying to, you know, reason with him. He's like, all right, you know, you want the attention, you want the shine, this is what you want, I'm gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? He put the mirror in his hand. And so, He said, all right, so your team, did y'all win today? What was your record? We're 2-0. 2-1. 1-2. All of a sudden, right, everybody's now focused on him. The focus in the beginning was Cam. Look, you about to get traded. You know what I'm saying? You a free agent. Or, yeah, you a free agent. And he's like, all right, I'm going to give you some attention then. And so he's like, all right, so what did you do? Bruh. Oh, and his homie tried to jump in and was like, oh, he got speed.
What they got to do with
it? And you got speed? Okay, what was your stats? What did you do, big boy? And he kind of, fumbles with this whole thing. You know where I'm from, man. I rep that 2-1. What was it?
215 or something, yeah, something like that.
So it's a Philly area code. I was talking to a buddy of mine about that, and it's a Philly area code, and I was just like, yo, you saying that doesn't help you in this situation right now, bro. Like, he's asking you, what did you do, like, on the field? Like, did you get any picks? Did you? I mean, like, what even is your position? But then the coach jumps in that moment and tries to, talk to the kid immediate, right? The thing is, bro, and of course, Cam asks at the end, is like, all right, let me holler at, his coach was like, no, you're a coach. He said, no, look, we already squashed that. I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to understand where he's coming from. But, long story short, man, it's crazy because when I look at that coach, it's like, where was that coach in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Why jump in now whenever, the kid's basically getting schooled, which I think what needed to happen. Honestly, that coach either should have been there in the beginning to kind of, check one of his kids, or allow Cam to do what he basically was trying to do. He was trying to, put that mirror in his hand and basically show that, all right, and he kept telling him, yeah, check my YouTube. You watch YouTube. He's like, yo, what does that have to do with anything right now? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? And so, I don't know, man. After watching that video and we talked about it, I was like, bro, kids are built different these days, man.
Like very different. Because, dang, I should do that. Okay. But, the disturbing part of what he doesn't know that he did to himself, because just imagine how many coaches, how many different people have seen that video.
Exactly.
And it's just a display. Maybe I'll be speculative about this, but we kind of can see the nature of who the kid is, or maybe may not be. He's competitive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has to learn there's an empathetic way, maybe, that I can use that in that context to go about with your competitive nature. Like, you can show your competitors how fierce you are, but at the same time, let them show your humility at the same time. So the fact of that, he went about it in that nature. I'm like, dude, like we was talking about earlier, you digging your own grave. And that's when you brought up that topic of, like, Cam was like, where's your dad? You can take that in so many different elements, right? Because you could be like, I can tell this kid ain't got no father figure in his life.
Exactly.
Or you can say, yo, I'm not talking to you, kid. Like, where your dad at?
Exactly.
So from that, let me put it this way. Me and you both play football.
Yep.
We both went to college, played, I walked on. And it's just like when I've met guys out here in the streets that I've known that went to the NFL.
Yep.
It's the fact of, I'm like, yo, these dudes about to go to the league. The only person that I met that I was like, yo, forget him, was Ezekiel Elliott. But I understand Urban Meyer didn't let him run the ball that game.
Yeah.
I think it was when they played Michigan State. I was up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be cool, cordial, because we got the same birthday. So you know what I'm saying. But it's just like when I met Ryan Williams for the first time, that running back that played for Virginia Tech, because my roommates was they was best friends with him.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, yo, this is amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like, like I'm in the presence of somebody that's like a potential first rounder. And if I was in the presence of Cam Newton, even though we don't play football no more, it's just like, I want to get to know this dude. I want to get to know his psyche. I want to get to know, like, how he has sustained everything that we know that we got to go through psychologically on a day-to-day basis. What are you doing to keep up that grind, keep up that mentality, keep up that urge to win? You know, but we all have our times where we got to take a step back or whatever, but he ain't done yet. You know, he ain't done yet.
Right.
And that's where, like, this kid could have picked up those nuggets, but I don't blame the kid. I blame the parents. I don't even blame the parents. I blame the parents before the parents, because there's a lineage of these activities that lead up to the situation that they are right now. Exactly. So it's just like, dog, you in a sense you hurt yourself. Yeah. And I feel like Cam, that I'm so like what's the word, when you get back at some, I'm trying to think of a word for that. I can't I can't think of it right now, but I probably would have responded the same way Cam did. Because when I tell you I want to dig deep, I'm like, yo, how much money you got? Yeah. What you doing here? But then at the same time, I got that other side where I just probably would have looked at him and just been like, all right, and then walked off.
You know what you're dealing with, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, Cam, you know, he, you know, just like you said, you know, he's just like us. You know, he's human. Mm-hmm. And so, like, in that quick moment, I think, you know what I'm saying, it was just that human reaction. It's like, I'm trash, you know, or the other word, you know, he said, he's like, I'm rich. Mm-hmm. I mean, the kid acted like this dude, it wasn't the MVP of the NFL, as if he wasn't, like, you know.
I don't think he's old enough to see that play he had against LSU. Dude. When
took a team to a national championship, right? I mean, right, he had Tim Tebow on the team.
When he was at Florida.
He was at Florida, man. Like, this dude, man, like.
I don't think they get it.
Dude, it just blows my mind. Like, you would think, man, like you mentioned before, someone who's in your presence, who, you know, who's at that level, done amazing things. He should aspire you to, you know, get to that point, possibly. You never know where it can go, but, like, you sitting here trashing this man as if, like, the clothes you're wearing is not sponsored by him. Mm-hmm. Dude, like, let you know, him come to Albemarle High School and trying to, you know, get us to a place where we're learning. Dude, I mean, yeah, we'll talk trash amongst one another, but, like, you disrespecting this guy as if, like, he hasn't accomplished nothing. Your version of trash, Cam, is still greatness. Like, dude, come on. And so, man, after watching that video, bro, I mean, it just made me realize, man, where we are as a society, man, of maybe in his own eyes, he thought by doing that, it was going to give him some, like, I'm sure his guys on the sideline, hyping him up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you mentioned about his upbringing, maybe the coaches, but, like, that kid made a conscious choice to do that. And maybe it was planned. I don't know. I didn't look all into that, but, like, at the same time, you know, Cam was like, you want the attention, you got it. So let's go. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a valuable lesson that he needed to really understand. And I think Cam did a good job as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, basically letting him see, you know, what have you done? Yeah. The coach should have came way earlier. He tried to tell the coach, hey, look, man, we got it. We good. Look, I'm just trying to get to where he is. And I think the coach should have allowed him to school him. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a memorable moment for him, and that can possibly take him, you know, in life. You know what I'm saying? A life lesson. Because now, whatever you thought you was gonna get out of that,
didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because we grew up on such these kids nowadays, because I found myself getting stuck in this, because, you know, I'm trying to do multiple businesses. Yeah. I'm trying to grow YouTube. We trying to grow podcasts. Yeah. And they're so captivated in the numbers. And once you start playing that numbers game and you get stuck in that trance of that, and it's like it's almost like people on drugs. Where my next high? So
that dopamine, bro.
It's that dopamine dump that all these kids are looking for, man. And it's like, yo, go over there, get on TikTok, and I'm about to do this right now, and then we about to get a reaction out of them. Then we about to, you know, and then the dude. One thing I can say about the young man, you know, he was real. He felt the way he felt, so you can't take it away from him. You know, he didn't back down, he didn't wither. But the thing, when you step against somebody that knows how to calculate their steps, and you didn't calculate yours before this man was already 15 steps ahead of you, he already knows the potential of the situation, what can happen out here, because he knows how y'all act. He know that y'all are clout chasers. Y'all want Instagram fame, social media fame, and things like that. Why do you think that man ain't gonna know that already? And this goes out to all the younger people, if they are listening to this. This is the time in your life where you gotta calculate your steps before you make them.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the situation, it might not be what you want.
Yeah.
You know, because it could have went either way. Cam could have got frustrated, and then he could have put hands on little dude, and he would have been grabbed by a grown man.
Hey.
Because it's dudes that's 270 pounds that's like, yo, that dude is solid. You can't even tackle him, you know? Yeah. He over there running over linebackers that's 230.
Yeah.
My biggest was 240. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't want no parts of that, you know? So it's like, it's that people that the thing that's discussed the most about nowadays is being conscious about what you're doing before you make those decisions, because every reaction has a reaction. Yeah. So it's like, if you want to go ahead and step into that dimension, you better hope you come back out of it, you know.
Absolutely, man. Look, Cam could very easily, like you said, you know, put hands on, which, you know, I will hope Cam and this, you know, point in his life, he wouldn't speak to the level. Because check this out, this wasn't his first rodeo. Yeah. Now, if you want to look up the video from before, I don't know what it is about Cam, bro, but these kids be trying them. Because there's another video that happened like a little while ago. This looked like a summertime type of event, maybe something similar to that. But it was a kid that was talking with him on the sideline, and you know, and the video was right up on the kid. He said, you know, because they was going back and forth about something, whatever. Maybe it was a play that happened that, you know, maybe the kid didn't agree on, but, you know, he looked at Cam, and Cam looked at him, and he was like, means I'll bust your tail, basically, you know, in the edited version. And Cam said, you do what now? You know, he got into his face. He said, you do what? He said, oh, I ain't nothing. He said, oh, yeah, that's what I thought. And he kind of walked off, and yo, you got to see that video. It was funny.
I feel like I have seen it, but I probably need to go back.
Bro, you got to go, because like it was like maybe a 23-second clip, man. And you know, like I said, dude, I beat your tail. And Cam, he didn't think Cam, because Cam turned his head as he was trying to mumble it, right, trying to be cool with his boys probably hyping him up. Soon he said, I beat you. You do what? He got right like literally to his face. You do what? And he's nothing. Yeah, I ain't think so.
Yeah.
Why they be trying that, man, bro? I mean, I'm just.
I think the crazy. I was thinking about this earlier, right? Us as African Americans, I'm like, we can take it to a couple of different places. Yeah. I'm like, I feel like we don't belong here. Like, seriously. But at the same time, I feel like we do. Yeah. Because I feel like when you know, spirit incarnated, whatever people believe in, I think the nature of who we are, while we're so competitive, because we know we can do so much. I think while we're so territorial, while we act the way we act, not saying everything is justified the way some, you know, African American people act, but I think our spirit is so strong. And we so talented, and we so gifted. Not taking away from anybody, any other race or anything like that, because I love everybody. Right. But I think the nature of who we are, that's why our spirit inclines us to like be like, oh, I can do better. But we need to figure out a way to tone it down, to work with each other, to put those strengths and those attributes into this pot to make this thing that's like a good thing or something like that. So it's like when I see kids, it's just something in us, because we, you know, you play football. Yeah. Even though me and you both like kind-hearted, we wanted to dominate, but we directed our energy and our mindset in a different fashion to where we could control, and that's where a lot of these kids is missing that. That's why he came at them and that came at that one young guy a certain way, because he knows it's something missing there. Yeah. And if we can create something to help, I know people are already in initiative to create something to help people out. Yeah. But I'm just like, yo, it's something about us. It's something embedded in our DNA that it's just like, or in our spirit, that just gives us that will and that drive to just be like the best at whatever we do. And then it's, once you get knocked down and you get pegged down, that's what a lot of us get discomfort at, to not achieve everything we want to do. It's the fact of that you just gotta push through that, man, and know that you can do anything you want to do. But these little kids, man, they might need a little smack on the behind like we used to get.
Bring it back over to you. Because look, I tell you, man, you know, there's just that instant gratification, like you said, you know, the whole social media platform, you know, they do something for clout, for you know, just that instant fame. And like, I bet young boy thought that this was going to work out to his favor, but it surely did not. You know what I'm saying? And you know, now he's going to have, right, he's there where he you would think he would be there to learn something, you know what I'm saying, to show his skill on what he can work with. Now you got recruiters, right? I'm sure one day he want to go to college and possibly get a scholarship. What coach, what right-minded coach is going to want a young kid who's that reckless to the point where you can't even learn under a person who volunteered to come out there and, you know, participate in an event to give back? He didn't have to be out there. He did not have to be out there. But yet he sponsored to try to help, you know, these kids into where they, you know, would aspire to be, you know what I'm saying? And so coaches, you know, going to look at that characteristic in them is like, I can't work with that. Sure, you can have a 4.2, 4.3, 40.
Don't even care.
Vertical 30, 36, you know, whatever. That don't matter. Show me your character. How are you not only on the field, but off the field? And this kid wasn't even planned at that moment to have that competitive, let's go. What's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, people get crazy on defense. I know I used to go, bruh, when I go in for a blitz, I make sure that those linemen knew I'm coming. I'm letting you know I'm coming. What move you got is going to stop me? Little quick juke, I'm going for that quarterback. Hey, look, for real, this man wasn't even in participation. He was on the sideline talking that trash to you know, Cam was a coach for a particular team. This man disrespecting not only an NFL great, but nonetheless a coach at that moment, bruh. What coach are you going to sit under to where they're going to tolerate that? It's like, no, we're good. We can't handle. I mean, sure, you know, immature, right? You got some growing to do, but there's still some accountability, you know, that has to happen. And the coach, like I said, man, his actual coach that stepped in and kind of, you know, held him back was like, hey, man, you know.
But it has to be, he got to be a repeat offender of this.
Gotta be.
And it's just like, you know, even though he may be talented, I don't know. I didn't even look him up.
Nah, me neither.
Because I have no concern in, you know, somebody acting like that. And not respecting, you know, greatness, or people might not say Cam great, but we think he's great. He great, man. And everything like that. But give that man his due diligence. But it's just like it's the signs are there. If somebody's willing to do something that extreme to somebody of that high of stature within America and the world, this guy's a repeat offender.
Absolutely.
Like, come on, dog. How do you not? Why do you feel like it's legible for you to have somebody like that in a locker room? It's not me saying give this kid a chance, man. It's like people have to learn. Like he got to learn.
You gotta learn, man.
He has to learn, and like maybe this might be a character builder for him, but I don't know because I don't know, man. But it's just like all the signs are there. Because if somebody's like I keep on rehashing it, but somebody's willing to do something that extreme, watch out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch out, man. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I like what you said, man. He's a repeat offender.
I'm trying to tell you, he didn't done it before. It might not be on the level of Cam Newton, but who Granny he didn't disrespect it. Who Mama he didn't disrespect it. You know what I'm saying? Who little sister or who little brother or you know with that bully mentality of how I'm not even gonna call it do the bully because that's just like, but just that disrespectful nature of like who he is, man. So I'm just like, yo, dude has that on lock. Yeah, and he done it before.
Oh, I totally agree, man. I just hope that you know, and I think I didn't read all the way into it, but I want to say that. He sent out an apology, you know, and trying to apologize to Cam and, you know, the staff. And basically, you know, he's not really like that. But it's like, I hear what you're saying, but your actions proved otherwise. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, kids don't really get a chance to really seize these moments, man, these opportunities that's honestly once in a lifetime, man. Like, I can imagine the impact that Cam would have, you know, at our level, he would have came to one of our high schools to try to spit game and, you know, trying to encourage us, man. Like, it would go a long way. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, when it comes to just like being in the moment, bro, kids ain't really there. I just don't think they're there, man.
Because just imagine when me and you played football, the only time we had somebody that could have possibly looked at us that wasn't looking at us, if somebody that was on somebody else's radar came to our school.
Exactly.
So it's like, say like I played at Fluvanna. What we had to go to Mike Brown, play him.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
he was getting recruited.
Him too.
And then who's the next only person? Todd Shelton at Louisa.
I remember him.
And then DJ Cole that played for Virginia Tech. And it's like if you didn't perform while the people that was trying to recruit him was there. Yeah. You might got a chance that you ain't gonna never be
absolutely,
you know. Yeah. And nowadays these kids make one solid play. Yeah. And it go on social media.
Oh, it's
everybody know 'em.
Dude.
Everybody.
They come in to scout them like they, you know, got 3 years worth of, you know, games like that, and they come and check them out because that's what that social media platform does, man. You get that exposure that, you know, that really. They can spice up the video to make it look like that's a Hall of Famer, your future Hall of Famer right there. But you know, speaking of like just high school competition, man, like, you know, playing against guys like, you know, Mike Brown, which, you know, we played against him as well. We were a AAA school, so we had, you know, big teams. We were playing like Massaponax, Brook Point. We scrimmaged Orange County, you know, one year, which had Bradley Starks.
Yeah, Brad Starks too.
Yeah. And so, you know, we also played against, you know, North Stafford County, which had Torrey Smith, which played for, got drafted by the, he got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, played there for 2 years, got a Super Bowl ring, which I was like, yo, I still got like DVDs with like a lot of his images because, like, you know, we whipped up on them our senior year, which was like, yeah, we got up on him. We knew Torrey, like, he was an athlete, dude. The man, like, he was just like a freak of nature on basketball, football. Of course, you know, he ended up getting a athletic scholarship to University of Maryland. Of course, like I say, he went to the Baltimore Ravens, and like the man, he's retired now. And so, like, you know, I'm sure throughout his life, man, he had, you know, some opportunities, you know, that was, you know, given to him to where he took full advantage of it, and you know, look where it got him. You know, that's one out of a million, you know, type of scenarios to where, you know, we know a handful of folks who made it to that next level. But, you know, if you were to sit down with them, have a conversation with them, bro, guarantee you, if they had an NFL, you know, great that came to a camp, ain't no way they're gonna disrespect them because they know what's, you know, what they want. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man. Watching that video, bro, just just like I said, made me feel like, man, where are we right now, man? Like this generation, it worries me. Even the younger generation, man. Like, man, we gotta do our part. As far as like, fathers, mentors. When the folks see things like this, man. I think it's up to us, man, to really engage in these guys, man. Give them an open platform to kind of, like I said, the kid may not have had a father in his life, and so like I said, whenever Cam said that, man, he kind of, you can tell, man, he kind of shut down a little bit. One being maybe the father wasn't really in his life, and two, the kid didn't do nothing in the whole tournament. So that, I think that was the biggest contributor, man, as far as why he shut down. But yeah, like I said, man, for those who haven't watched it, go and watch it and
go check that out.
Let us know what you think. Yeah, man. That's one of the things that we wanted to talk through. And I don't know if you want to go ahead and transition to another topic. We're gonna do another approach.
So I think the other day I seen a UFO, man.
Stop it.
No, but yo, so I kid you not, right? I was laying in the bed up there.
Yeah.
And it was maybe like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Because it was like 4 a.m. I for some reason I wake up. If anybody knows, I wake up at 4 o'clock every night. I don't care if I'm like, I don't do this anymore, but I don't care if I get like slam drunk. I still wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Or like in previous times, or if it's just like, if I'm dead tired, I still wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I woke up at 4, right? And it was I got, like in your blinds or whatever, we don't have any like curtains up there like blocking it. So I could see through the little hole, right? I was like, no, I'm lying. I'm sorry. The Ring doorbell went off.
Oh, okay.
At 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Huh.
So I like looked at it.
Yeah.
And then there was this like light right above like the neighbor's house over here, right?
Oh no.
So within a matter of seconds, when I think somebody drove through the neighborhood or something like that.
Gotcha.
But within a matter of seconds, the light disappeared. But it was up above their house.
Okay.
So I was like, so first of all, I was like paying attention to the car. I was like, man, what car rolling through here at 4 a.m?
Yeah.
But then, something captivated my attention. I was like, what? So then I looked, and then everybody's listening to this. I know Chad been talking about it on previous podcasts, and I believe solely in them. And it's not like I don't, but it's like when you actually visualize, and it may be something that wasn't it. Yeah. But it was like sitting up high, right above, not like at their house, but like it was in the distant sky, and it was like bright, and it won't the moon. Yeah. And I was just like, within a matter of seconds, when that car turned in the cul-de-sac like that and went out, went away. Bruh. And I was like, no. I was like, did I see my first one? I was like, no. Dude. But that goes to that subject of that, that pilot. Yeah. On that airline. And when you listen to it, and we'll try to put the videos in the description. Right. But when you listen to that video, that pilot. Yeah. Dude sounded like he had a little bit of frog in his throat. Yeah. Like he was like, but then I heard that one guy, that one lady, she was like, oh, they were flying over a missile thing or whatever. But this dude was like, it goes back to that Captain Fravor video. He said it was a cylinder. Yeah. Captain Fravor said it was that tic-tac shape type thing. That's it. So that's almost like a cylinder too. Bro. And he was like, it was moving extremely fast. Bro. And it was, did he say it was big? Yeah, he said it was a good size, man. And it went, I want to say like this direction toward like either to, it had to be going this, if they're, if they're going this direction, right? The way how he was describing it is like, it was coming like as if
like you said, it kind of looked like a missile, but like I said, it was that cylinder shape.
Mm-hmm.
And it went like kind of over top, but like, yo, that's a commercial plane.
Why would they be shooting a missile?
Why would they be shooting a missile, right? And if it was nothing detected on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
The FAA cannot explain as far as like that sighting that this pilot did, and you know, why would he just in the middle of his flight trying to get out of Mexico, just come on the talking to the air traffic control to say, guys. And like you said, you can kind of hear it's like, wait a minute, this man seen something.
Yeah.
And he tried to describe to the best of his ability on what he saw. And he said, this, it was New Mexico. I said Mexico.
Yeah, we gotta put the facts in here because people be like, man,
fact check.
You ain't telling it right, man. You ain't saying it right, man.
But the cylindrical object was moving really fast, he said. And this pilot, which I'm sure he's flown for years, seen some things he can probably explain. Yep, that's the. But yesterday, out of the flight out of New Mexico, he described on record to say, and you're watching the video when you get a chance, click on that link. But he says it, there's something that looked like a cruise missile, but it was in that cylindrical shape. And he can't explain it. It was going super fast. If the folks in the military aren't confirming nor denying that it was a missile, what else could it have been? Yeah. He's pretty much putting it out there is that like this is something different. Yeah. And yeah, man, he was an American, it was an American airline, airplane that was, traveling. Now, whenever I travel, that's who I fly with. So, but he was just baffled by what he saw. Like I said, this pilot isn't like, this wasn't his first rodeo. He was able to determine, what he saw, and he said it. And so now it's hitting news outlets and people are talking about it. And, I'm glad we're getting a chance to, to talk about it tonight. But, that just goes to show it ain't just, your average Joe who's kind of speaking up and talking about these things that they're seeing. Yeah. But these are people who are in official, offices. Like, I mean, we can go back to like presidents, elected officials. I mean, those who are, truly credible, not saying that, what we experience, especially for myself, I know what I've seen. That aren't credible, but these guys who we look to be like, ain't no way he's lying. Why would he lie? Why would he say these? Dude, there's a video also, bruh. Not it's still within the lines of UFOs, but Muhammad Ali, bruh. That like he talks about it, bruh. Like if you haven't seen that yet, it's an older video, bruh. But like he talks about it, and you can hear the people in the crowd just kind of laughing as if like ha 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 ha. And he's sitting there serious, not even laughing. Like, yeah, this stuff is real, man. Like, you gotta check it out for yourself. But yeah, I'll send you that video, man, and let me know what you think. But yeah, bro, this pilot that just, they released the audio. It's not really much of a video if you go to get a chance to look at it, but it's really the audio that this pilot, which is very experienced, done many flights in his time, came out and mentioned that. This is what he saw, this cylindrical shape that was going super fast. And more than likely, it wasn't a missile. So what was it? Yeah.
And, man, and you the perfect person for me to, reciprocate knowledge about this. Because, I check it out, too. Yeah. And I'm just trying to figure out, man, like, we'll probably never figure it out. Unless it's like the face is shown at the perfect time. But it's like, why now? It's starting to be like more like hyped up than ever. I know I think we in the age of Aquarius. So the age of Aquarius is all about the truth will be told when you look it up online and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's like a lot of stuff is just like revealing itself. Dude. And like the all these things. And I know there's people out there like, oh man, but everybody catching them like they got a 2001 cell phone camera or whatever, but it's just like more people are starting to like come forward and be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Like I seen this, I know I seen this, and people don't get like shamed so much for it now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to wait for that document to come out and for them to I know they probably won't reveal everything that they should be revealing, but why do you think this is happening now?
Yeah.
Is it like can they not control it anymore from people seeing it, or are they just like seeing the way the world is going and they just ain't liking it? Or because if people need to go up, I'm just gonna throw one more thing in there. People need to go look up Oumuamua, and you got a Harvard professor saying that, you know, this thing ain't this ain't no asteroid.
No.
And all his colleagues trying to laugh at him and tell him like you thinking outside the box, and it's just, it is what it is. He's like, no, I know what I'm looking at. It doesn't have the characteristics of the things we're looking at. This is not some anomaly that we can just say, just like blow it off of our shoulders. This is something that we need to pay attention to. Yeah. The first intergalactic thing that came into our solar system that we didn't caught. Yeah. And it left out faster than it came in. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
Dude, man. Like, to even, like, you know, mention before in the podcast, man, about the Pentagon, how they not only, you know, do they acknowledge it, but, like, you know, they're not really calling it a UFO. They're just, you know, naming it aerial phenomena. You know, is kind of what they phrasing it. But, dude, like, man, we can get into, of course, you know, and that maybe that's for something else later on. But like,
no, we can do this now. We on the topic, because it's like I want your reaction on what you think, and do you think it's us? But
yeah, man, I mean, you know, even people like Bob Lazar, man. Like, for those who don't know who Bob Lazar is, man, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. And I think there's a couple of documentaries about him, but you know, even so much now, he's kind of more open than when he used to be back in the day about like what he was able to accomplish. But basically, you know, you've heard of Area 51, but he was in a different part of that whole area, but still working on. He was working on, you know, just the aircraft, and. I mean, just hearing his testimony, man, and kind of understanding, like, you know, his mindset on why he's, you know, become public, and, you know, him explaining what he's done. But, like, basically, man, this man reverse engineer. To answer your question, do you think that it's us, or do you think it's some other form? I don't know what that is, but I think it's truly a combination of, like, us trying to understand what was found in Roswell, New Mexico, when they tried to recover, you know, this flying saucer, which was, you know, added into the papers that day. But yet, you know, I mentioned, and you can look it up yourself, that, you know, the government officials made that outlet of the newspaper, man, change what it was, you know, what that title was. But yeah, man, you know, guys like Bob Lazar, you know, guys like is Neil Armstrong.
Probably. I know that dude from Canada you told me about and everything.
Yeah. Definitely him, man. Like, you know, like I said, these are guys who, which I'm sure there's some type of protocol, something to where, you know, a written agreement that these guys aren't supposed to talk about a lot of this stuff. But, like, some of these guys are in their 80s, or, you know, if not older, that are like, I'm about to die anyway. So, I mean, forget this oath that you made me agree to, you know, not talk about these things. But, like, man, this stuff is crazy because, like you mentioned before, it's happening way more. Like, a lot of people are talking about it more, you know, within, you know, especially, you know, last year, or was it, no, it was 2017 that the Pentagon released, you know, a couple of videos that was actually filmed from an F-18, you know, an American fighter jet. catching the military's responses, man. It was just amazing that not only did the Pentagon, release it, but they're acknowledging, like, these things exist, and that we're calling it unidentified, aerial phenomena. They're not really calling it, like I said, UFOs, but aerial phenomena. And within these videos, man, you'll see the reaction of these, military officials flying these fighter jets, and like they're like, "Oh, we got it," as they capture this little orb of light hovering over the ocean, going at a crazy speed. And for the longest time, they couldn't really get it within their field of view on their, camera on the fighter jet. But when they do, they're like, "We got it. Here it is." And you can see the orb, man, that's just balling. I forget how fast they said it was going, man. But like I said, you can
something
check it.
Crazy.
Dude, it just don't make sense, man. It's like, what is that? Who's behind that? Because what's available in our eyes from the military, like that, we're flying the best of the best. Ain't nobody messing with us. Maybe Russia, I don't know. But as far as we know, our F-18, that's what we got. It's fast, it's quick, it's powerful. And it can't even keep up with this object that's going at this crazy speed, and the altitude and how it, maneuvers. Is like, we can't even keep up. Dude.
Because they use a lot of heat tracking and stuff like that, right? And that's the craziest part to me. The thing wasn't emitting any heat at all. And I think that thing that was near that water was the thing, like, they couldn't pick it up because it was almost just as cold as the water was, or just something. Just about, yeah. Something like that. And so how something, as far as we have gotten, as far as technology-wise, in our systems, and propulsion-wise, doing this at the feet that it was doing it, traveling at the speeds it was traveling without emitting any heat whatsoever. That's just the part that a lot of people can't wrap their minds around, and it's just like, dude, what is it? We don't know. And I see a lot of people saying like, "Oh man, it's just like staged," and all that. But I think, who said it? I think Elon Musk said it. And he said something. People, you can go look it up, but he said something about jokes, right? Yeah. He said everything's a joke till it becomes reality, or something like that. Because it's like the Dogecoin. I do a little bit of investing and stuff like that and everything. But he was talking about the Dogecoin, and everything's a joke till it becomes reality.
Dude, that's some hard truth right there, bro.
And then, so that's like my 2 cents on that, man. But it's something to, I don't know, it's just hard for us as humans how we gotta just stay in the daily grind and do all this, and we can't be observant as much as we want to. I try to do it on a daily, and Lay probably told you, my youngest daughter, she went and took a chair in the other room and stood up near the window just looking outside, and Lauren was like, "Yeah, that's your daughter right there." Because she said you just do stuff. She said you just stand near the window and just be looking. For sure. She said there don't be nothing out there. She said I'll just catch you like just looking outside. And I'm like, I marvel what we in. I marvel this existence and everything like that. And I think she like my twin too. So
yeah, for sure.
So
man.
Hopefully, when your kids say, "Oh, look at that in the sky," you gotta turn around and look up, because they know just as much as we do, or they see just as much as we do.
Yeah, exactly, man. Hey, look, man, but for real though, when we talk about like this whole, technology, whether if it exists or not, let's not forget that within that COVID relief bill, all right, and how they basically gave the government like almost like a deadline on when they can release not a full disclosure, but some information on what they've been funding and doing to investigate, these sightings, these different things, like with the pilot that, just discovered, like those type of investigations. And within that, it was the Intelligence Authorization Act. But it's basically going to require the United States government to and all the different agencies, man, to present to Congress and to basically tell us what you know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they're not going to give us the whole spiel, I don't believe, but they're going to give us enough to where we can be settled. But I mean, man, I want to say within that relief, it was 180 days that they allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to say we're definitely a whole lot closer to that deadline, man. We still got, I want us a couple more months left, but I'm just interested. I'm curious to see, what's released. There's a lot that the American people want to handle, but truly can they handle?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, man, I don't know. And maybe the American people are ready to receive some truth. But
I think these kids just gonna be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, right? I mean,
yeah,
we're so caught up and used to just, that's one thing I was mentioning before, man. It's like, like your daughter, man. Just looking in the sky. A lot of people don't look in the sky no more, man.
Mm-mm.
They just, care about where they are right here, and just, they don't look up. Look at God's beautiful creation, man. It's just like, the stars. I love looking at the Little Dipper, the Big Dipper, man. I make sure my kids know, man, understanding the constellation and, seeing, God's fingerprint, man, that he's left behind for us to truly believe in him. And that's just my belief, man, on, seeing, some of these signs that we look at, man, and some people even overlook. But like, I truly believe, man, that God left enough evidence for us to believe in him. But what influences us to, to not believe, man, I don't know. And, different situations happens to us in life, but but yeah, man, I love looking at the stars. I love looking at, the moon. I love looking at, these different things that, that is just a blessing to see, man. Appreciating, our five senses, and, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. But yeah, that's
it's just like the way we think like futuristic, forward thinking, outward thinking. You see a lot of different things. You see stars and everything like that, and it's just like those people that are like captivated into this world we in and not looking out to see, like, to expand. And that's why I like Elon Musk a lot, because he all about the future. He all about progression. He a little wild sometimes and everything like that, but the man is truly about,
it's a visionary, man.
Visionary. Like he speaks things into existence, and he wants to see people prosper and everything like that. And I think that's why he's establishing the position that he is now. And then you got the people behind him that are always like shorting the stock, don't want to see the man succeed, always trying to say this electric car gonna beat out his car. It's just like that just shows you it happens on every level. Dude. It happens on every single level, and you got somebody with that stature that's trying to progress the world and trying to do things of like the nature of what he's trying to do, and there's still people here trying to hold him back.
Absolutely.
Because he's cutting into their pockets. He cutting into the oil industry. He cutting into Ford's pockets. He cutting into Dodge pockets and everything like that. And it's like they don't like it. And it's just like, if you can't beat them, dude, join them. Or just try to figure out a way to beat them. You think it's people out here that make cheeseburgers? Like, I'm like, just because McDonald's make them, that don't mean I ain't gonna make them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, come on now. It's like all of a sudden you start getting these, I'm gonna go back to the McDonald's analogy. McDonald's, how much this stuff used to cost.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you got people out here competing with them. Now they're lowering their prices. Like, oh, you can get the 2 for $3. You can get the because you got to compete, because they know somebody always breathing down their back. But the thing with Elon, he ain't worried about people breathing down their back. He all he worried about is going forward. So that's why he is successful as he is. And I feel like he might be an alien too.
Hey, look, I know you was gonna drop that on him. But no, man, like honestly, bro, like when you think about Elon Musk, and I saw a video, man, that was just, someone who was interviewing him, and, he was basically talking about the people who inspired him to kind of be where he is. And it's crazy because the same critics and the folks who, didn't approve of SpaceX and all what he's accomplished thus far, were the same people who he looked up to. And the man in the video was, started to, I don't know if you've seen that video or not, but he started to get tears in his eyes, man. It was just like how disappointed he was, because if it wasn't because of Neil Armstrong, who went to the moon, or, other folks who, astronauts, man, who, like, this was the vision that was cast upon him as a young kid, watching him. And these are the same people who's trying to, discredit him and try to talk down on him, bro. It's like, how disappointing is that, man? These are people who you looked up to.
Yeah.
Oh, dog, that's just wild, man. But, thankfully, he rose above that, and yeah, man, Elon Musk, he's an interesting cat.
Yeah, very
he's
interesting
cat, man.
And you need people like that in the world, man.
Oh yeah, to progress.
You gotta have people like that, and he's like he preaches this thing that he don't sleep, and he all about hard work.
Yeah.
People don't follow that man's path, because he on a whole different being. Me and him kind of alike.
Yeah.
I stay up till about 4 a.m. still, get up at 8 o'clock. A lot of people can't fade that. You might wake up dead the next morning.
In my younger days, bro, I can keep up, but not, boy.
Like, I'm still doing it to this day,
bro.
2 kids and everything.
Lord be with you.
Lauren's like, you a freak. Like, just recently, right?
Yeah.
I had a situation where I was doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know I'm tired. I gotta at least get one day in to where, and I recovered.
Yeah.
Next day, I'm like, yo, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hey, y'all going to sleep? y'all good?
Oh,
so
my goodness.
it's just like that dude, man. He on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And it's the air, his businesses, whatever. That's what motivates him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I saw on the Joe Rogan podcast, he kind of was like debunking like aliens and saying like, and I was like, man, I don't really agree.
Yeah. That's the protocol, follow this protocol right here.
Yeah. But it's like, but the fashion that he did it, it's like he don't care.
Yeah. I mean, at that level, he's just.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care about it. But if it happens, it happens. I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Shake their hand, or if they want to shake our hands or whatever. So
yeah. Oh, that's true, man. I mean, when you get to that point in life, when you're a multi-billionaire, it's like, does my opinion really matter at this point?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about what I think about the situation. I mean,
he ain't a clout chaser like that. Well, in certain aspects, he is, but.
Yeah, man. He's like I said, he's an interesting cat. But you want to talk about the other thing we were going to talk about?
Crack it open.
Let's see.
Crack it open. But there will be more alien stuff coming in the future.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, especially as time progresses, as things start to unfold, we'll be able to see it and speak to it.
Before we get on next topic, but we might have to just like the day they release. We might both have to just like not work that day and just like like as soon as they release this information, like we own it, like right on top of it.
We gotta jump right on it, man. Look, I have my laptop. Of course, you have yours, man. We can just boom, spit the facts, man. Yeah. This is what they. I mean, like you said, man. I was talking to my homie from work today actually about it, man. It was just like had this one guy I work with, engineer I worked with, man, and he was right. He was just like, say out of the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who have, encountered the unknown, just, being able to witness something they couldn't explain in the air. Right out of all those sightings, all it takes is one to be real. Mm-hmm. All it takes is that one to be legitimate, and you can't discredit that. I mean, ain't no way you can sit here and look me square in the face and say, out of the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of sightings, not one is legit. Coming from presidents who is openly discussed their sightings that they've seen. Military officials, I mean, to the highest level. Neil Armstrong himself, for those who believe or don't believe that we landed on the moon, has on record mentioned of seeing an unidentified flying object. So you got these folks, man, from every angle who are speaking of these things, and you mean to tell me 100% is not right? They're not telling the truth.
Yeah,
dude, there's no way. Something is happening. Whether you guys who was listening or watching, have an open mind. All right, when it comes to, what you may have seen or not seen, there are people who have experienced something that is, just supernatural to the point where they can't explain. And then when you bounce back and see, hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people, way even before your time, talk about these things and really have seen something, have an ear to hear, to see, from their experience, man. Yeah, man. We can dive, we can continue on to talk about these things. That's literally, man, what I, outside of, go ahead.
Well, the one thing I want to say, because it has some like substance to it, and it has some truth to it, because who would believe me about that white rabbit story that I told y'all?
Oh yeah, true.
True. They're like, yo, he lying.
Yeah.
Like, why would a white rabbit be in the middle of Charlottesville?
Yeah.
Just like, how believable does that sound?
Yeah.
Like, it don't sound like real. It don't, like who. But I've even, the thing that I've done, I've even analyzed the situation to know that there's something going. It's something to what we live in. Yeah. It made me think a whole lot deeper, because I said, for me to be there at that particular moment in time, talking to him, who has a white rabbit that's on the loose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, who
man.
has who lost a white rabbit?
Yeah.
And like, you tell that story, and like, it's just something that out of a fairy tale.
Yeah, yeah.
So
for sure.
it's just like when people talking about these UFOs and they seen things and everything like that.
Yeah.
Just open your mind a little bit, because I'm telling you right now, me and Mike was sitting there, and that rabbit literally came between us and sat there.
Absolutely, man.
Left, then came back again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable story.
Yeah.
I don't care if nobody don't believe me. We'll get Mike here to tell the story.
I believe you, bro. Hey, look. But see, like, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and speak from a Christian's perspective, right? Because I consider myself to be a Christian man. But like, that's almost like you going up to a Christian and telling them your encounter, your experience with God is not real. I know hundreds and thousands and millions of people who experience the same thing that you experience, man. That's found written in this, Bible. I don't believe, because I don't see it. I don't believe that. It's just like, that's kind of the equivalent. I hate to say it, man, but like, many fellow Christians, brothers and sisters, man, like when they hear this type of, content, it's like, you're a Christian. How do you believe in, aliens or UFOs? It's just like, folks can look at us as Christians and say, you believe in this, fairy tale, or I mean, I've heard it all when it comes, like, you're brainwashed, you're this, you're that, and you follow a unknown God, you never seen them, and different things, but like, based off faith, and I can go into my testimony, man, but like, when folks really genuinely, man, like, talk about these UFO encounters, man, and what they've experienced, man, I'm telling you, it is it's legit. Have an open mind, just like us as Christians want other people to experience God and experience His love and His compassion. Give the same people that benefit, man. Have an open mind. I know, from my perspective, man, I know what I've seen in the skies a couple times, and I don't care what person comes in front of me and tell me, might have been a drone, might have been some swamp gas.
Back then, they didn't even have drones when you see that stuff.
Right? Dude, man. And And like I said, I can still kind of show you some. I mean, of course, I had my phone. Phone was dead that night, the very first time that I, seen something crazy. But, I'm telling you, dude, these things, man, there were 3 orbs. And for those who were listening, he's like, man, Chad, I heard you before, man. But trust me, it's worth to listen again. But those 3 orbs, blue, I mean, these things were just shining all colors of the, color spectrum. And these things were just hovering, man, silent, didn't make no noise, didn't have any type of smoke leaving behind it, bruh. And these things were just, moving in just this crazy order, bruh. And it was like they were communicating with one another, and these things started just kind of to shift. And I was just like, man, this is fascinating, bruh. But like, you see something like that and you can't explain it. It's like, do y'all see this? Like, and dude, man, I'm telling you, that for sure was like the start of me saying, like, something's going on up there that the majority is not paying attention to. Yeah.
Cause so I was watching a video the other day.
Yeah.
And it was talking about how big the Oort cloud is, right? And it almost reaches to Proxima Centauri. That's how big the gravitational pull of the sun, how much mass the sun has to have something that expansive. But then when they show this diagram, it's like these like empty pockets of space, like from us in between, to the next star system, right? And it's like there's billions of stars in our galaxy. But then when you look at the distance of how far we are from the next, it's just like you said, Christian or not or whoever. And why can't you see this, the construction of this thing, the highways of this thing, the way it's put together? It's something to it, man.
Something to it, bro. I'm telling you.
And it's like, if you can't believe it, it's just like what's that? You go to West Virginia.
Okay.
Got people living in the mountains.
Yeah.
One day, car passed through. They ain't seen a car in 10 years.
Okay. Yeah.
And a car passed through, and they like, yo, you know what I'm saying? They don't get a look at them. People keep on going.
Yeah.
And now with everything that's going on, it's like, hey, people starting to see it.
Yep.
And you like, yo, these people don't know what a car is. Kind of. Back in the day. All right, so put it in the context of that. Back in the day when the first cars were released, they don't have TV, they don't have radio, they don't have nothing.
Absolutely.
They just up there living off the land and everything like that, living in a house. All of a sudden one day a car rolled through there and they like, the hell? They're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And why can't people put it into context like that? It's just like people seeing this stuff, and there's multiple. I feel like it's something here that anybody from outer space, like it's something enriched, maybe gold, whatever. Yeah. Because why do we cherish gold that much?
Dude, it's a conductor, bro. Like, that stuff is inside our phones. Like, dude, so check this out. I'm glad you mentioned that, because, like, with me being able to, experience, with my work history, man, working with government agencies, becoming a, from technician to, like, in the engineering type of deal, like, it's crazy to break down a lot of the technologies, man, that I was able to have access to. Of course, can't get into, the great detail about what I worked on, but like at the same time, like, I'm sure many people have heard of just a regular circuit board, that has all these different diodes and these little pads where that shows you how things work on it. It's amazing. And we sat back today, we were talking about it. I was like, yo, like, who came up with this concept of a circuit board, and with having these gold look like just pathways that leads to these little like I said, some of them are called diodes, some of them are called just, there's different terminologies I could use to kind of describe these things, but like, many part won't get it. But essentially, though, man, when you look at these boards, like, we sit back, we got our remote control, turn the TV, hitting buttons, but
not knowing what goes into
not
that.
What doesn't know, right? So like in my previous job, man, like previous job, man, we used to work on a lot of those things, the components that goes into what makes it happen. And so we sat back and we look at these circuit boards, man. It's like, yo, I know some smart people out there. Elon Musk is a living testament of that. But like, how do we possess such right? We look at it now, it's like, this ain't nothing now. It's just a phone.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you crack that phone open, you see what pathways that are, kind of soldered on, which, many people use to apply the heat to put on these little components, man, in order to get your phone to do a, certain function. Who thought of that? Where did we get that from?
That's why like when me, you, and Jamal was talking, it's like that. And see, we marvel over this stuff, but it's just as like we called, if there was an existence of them, just like we called Neanderthals dumb.
Yeah.
People 200-300 years from now will be like, yo, how did you not know that?
Yeah, like, come on.
But it's like, it marvels us at this time, and I'm like, yo, it ain't no way we doing this.
Yeah.
Because the dudes, I went to a machine shop. It's kind of like what you saying with the circuit boards and everything.
Yeah.
Intricacies or whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
Of how these things are like put together.
Yeah.
So they got this machine there. This thing literally carves out little things you got to use a microscope to like dive deep. It's like little cities built on something that smaller than you can't even see it with your naked eye.
I'm telling you.
And it looks like little cities built up on this like block of something just so they can ID that block. So it's like if something happens, then that's why it's going to somewhere crazy, because if something happens, they can identify by looking at one little teeny piece, and it looks like a little city built up on it,
dude.
Or it's got some kind of pathways for conductors and all kinds of stuff like that on a microscopic level. Yo, it blew my mind when I looked at that. When I looked at a microscope, I was like, am I really looking at this right now? Like, what in the world do we have that can construct the design of this on this little thing that I'm looking at right now?
Yeah.
It just blew my mind, man.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, you go from what happened in Roswell, New Mexico, which I mentioned earlier, man, the UFO incident, which was in 1947, up until where we are currently, man. Like, think about what have we grown into and accomplished as a society, man, and the technology that we now possess. Like, dude, it was a jump. Like, sure, people got smarter. We've learned from our mistakes. We trial and error on a different, type of things. But like, bruh,
2001, 2007 to now.
Yo, exactly.
And but before that, yo, man, you get my bad, but
no. That's right on, bruh. I mean,
because we know, we've seen, me and you are old enough to see how the cell phone was when we was getting ready to graduate high school.
Yo.
And it's just like within this little bit of time compared to from that jumper period from when we was 93 till now, or till that time, it's just like nothing really progressed on that type of level. Maybe it did. Maybe we just didn't pay attention to it as I think about it.
Yeah, some.
But now it's just like, yo.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
It's a hit, man. Like, shoot. Trying to think. I mean, me personally, man, I think, and call me crazy, call me what you want, but like, I think the government, man, is at least 30 years ahead of us in technology, bro.
Oh,
like, I think they release, increments of like what's
suitable
for what, dude. Yeah, man, because like you mentioned, 2001, man, like, I don't know about you, bro, but like, I remember having my Nokia, you know what I'm saying, being happy with that. And I got my little snake game. I'm sitting here, you You know what I'm saying? Having the ability to send a text message, man. We hitting 25 buttons just, to say what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now, open up the garage.
Yeah. Car.
Start your car.
Start your car.
Bro.
Flying drones off of them. Anything you can think of. And we just sitting there satisfied with putting the ring back on the phone, putting little ringtones on the phone and things like that. And just like the things you can do. Because what was I watching the other day? I was watching Home Alone, right?
Oh yeah, classic.
I think I saw somebody with a Walkman on.
Oh yeah.
And then this is how I get, man. I go up in my room and look at my AirPods.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yo.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, am I getting old or like?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? Or things just like moving too fast, and it just pauses you in time.
Yeah.
Because we ain't old enough to know. I still remember the lady Fanny that used to watch me. Mm-hmm. She had the actual, it was the 8-tracks
or
whatever,
yeah.
And you had to put the little needle on and everything like that. Ask a kid nowadays like what that is or whatever, and then it's just, man, when you go back to times like that and you see how the progression of like technology,
right.
And like you said, I know people smart. Yeah. I know people, I'm not going to use the word intelligence because like intelligence is so coy because they just know something I don't know. Yeah. I know something they don't know.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like, I don't know, man. Just how humans act and the nature about who. Are we working together enough to be able to create all this stuff, or is somebody infiltrating the system,
or is something given
infiltrating the system to give us like, hey, we be back in a couple of years. Use it, like examine that right there real quick and
coming to monitor what y'all doing. Mm-hmm. Remember the video, bro? I showed you this a while ago, but like of that one military official dude, high ranking military dude. And, it was on CNN. It's an old clip, but, he basically dealt with rocket propulsion, and dealing with like nuclear, warheads and whatnot. But like they was at the testing site where they launched a nuclear, missile, which wasn't like a real deal. It was a dummy one. But like in the same frame, like when they're on the ground, they couldn't tell what was going on. They were, just looking at it, it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, It came down. Mm-hmm. And dude got called into the office and sat down with one of the other head guys. Was like, what's going on up there? He said, nothing's going on. Everything worked out fine. And he pulled open the tape, got the screen open and say, watch this. And then it showed the thing being launched. He's going. And he looked at him and said, pretty good stuff, right? He's like, yeah. Keep watching. And all of a sudden, bro, within that same frame, you see this, the missile and the head of the missile. This one little orb of light came in the field of view, shot a beam, like a laser beam.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that.
Shot the head of it, came at another angle, shot another laser of it, came from the bottom, shot and one more laser at it, and came out the field of view like it wasn't nothing. Bruh, when I tell you, man, that watching that is just like, what, like, this isn't like something that was manipulated through some like software program, to make it look like legit, but like, and the guy was like, was y'all messing around up there? He's like, I don't know what this is. And of course, he told him, you never saw it. You never speak of this. Have a good day. Think about how many other soldiers or folks who experience something like that can't really, comprehend. And it's just like, man, it blows my mind, man. I don't know. I
think that's one of them topics. Like, if everybody just could be like optimistic about it and realize like, yo, there may be a unicorn out there. You never know. But that's unrealistic to the fact of how realistic this stuff is.
Yeah, this stuff is.
And it's like you said, just imagine all those dudes that's like 85, they was born in the 40s or 30s.
Yeah.
Tight knit secrecy kind of that everybody was together, and now the way the world is going,
yeah,
they kind of like, and this kind of can go into the next subject what we was gonna talk about. Yeah. It's just like towards the end of that lifespan.
Yeah.
Truth gonna come out.
Yeah, it's gonna come out, man.
These dudes, like these younger people, are too damn smart for this to keep on being held on to as, you know, like they gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
So you might as well let the cat out the bag,
Absolutely,
whatever the case may be, because like the next subject we was gonna talk about is just like that Malcolm X story that we was like looking into and everything like that, and you know, is the thing like I told you, and you probably can describe a little bit more, but it's just a marvel of how many people been executed, killed, everything like that, and then 70 years later, somebody on their deathbed write out a note. Then they just like it. I don't think it probably won't happen as much now into the future, but it's just like, imagine how dark it was back then. People got to join these secret things and do all this stuff, and then just like executing people or doing certain things because it didn't follow your agenda. But you go ahead and like explain that and, you know, elaborate on that, what I was talking about.
Bathroom break?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Keep it real.
Hey, we got to keep it real.
Keep it real, man. Bathroom break. Yo. Welcome back to the podcast. Me and my brother right here, man. We had a good time tonight. We're going to go ahead and get ready for the next portion coming soon. Yeah,
I think we gave y'all enough. We had to put our minds together. It was a quick bathroom break, but we were like, hey, you know what? We just going to be out of the box and just be like, yo, we're going to give them more next time. I know we were getting ready to jump into another topic, but that's just a cliffhanger for what it's supposed to be,
you know? Absolutely. Or go back and, you know.
Yeah, chop it up. So, thank y'all. Thank you. That podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we just trying to make this thing great, legendary,
absolutely
organic. You know, make it something that everybody can listen to. My voice cracking. But we thank y'all for listening, watching the video and everything.
Appreciate it.
And until next time. Well, our next guest, we can go ahead and just throw it out there.
Yeah.
We got Broadus Palmer, CEO of Level Up in Tech, next week.
Yes.
So it should be a good episode. Dude is funny.
Sneakerhead.
He hilarious. He's a businessman. He a CEO. Yeah. And he doing something good for the community. He trying to level up. And that's why the hints of Level Up in Tech. So y'all stay tuned for that. And we'll see y'all next week.